Danny Murphy rolling along. Now can Gerrard make a telling cross? Samil made the interception. Another Risa corner kick. Diston got it away. Gerrard. Out of his career of great saves, that is right up there with them. Peter Schmeichel. Why is this man retiring? El Hadjouf came in, hit it. This Schmeichel. Look at this for reflexes. For a man approaching his 40th year. On to Jouf. Schmeichel again. This is wonderful stuff from Schmeichel. Gerrard. If Barros had shouts in the first half, most definitely. Manchester City have shouts in the second half, and now Neil Barry trying to explain to Sami Hyypiä. Well, Jimmy Traore just a full body launch at Anelka. He could have no complaints. So Traore brings down his former French eyes for Man City. A penalty foul about which there could be no complaints whatsoever. It was beautiful. He body shaped to throw to Dudek's left. The keeper went that way, and there it is, tucked on the opposite side. 1-1. Side of Anfield, where the Man City supporters celebrate. Nicholas Anelka. Great play by Sean Wright-Phillips, twice by Sean Wright-Phillips, and a left-foot finish that will be in his video wall for Nicholas Anelka. Is that the end of Liverpool's Champions League chances? No, don't write them off because of today, but they're diminishing. Nails have been bitten, nerves have been tattered, and Nicholas Anelka from the penalty and from play came back to haunt Liverpool after Parrish had scored an excellent volley. But whilst Anelka is the goal-scoring hero, the hero has to be Peter Schmeichel on his last visit as a player to Anfield. Anelka the young hero, but Peter Schmeichel give a vintage masterclass. The final score, Liverpool 1, Manchester City 2.
Well, we'll be looking at Peter Schmeichel and indeed the Liverpool-Manchester City game in more detail shortly. But first to Upton Park, where there was so much at stake. West Ham are aiming to do the ultimate in escapology by avoiding the drop. With Glenn Roeder recovering from a stroke and Trevor Brooking now installed as his temporary replacement, things aren't exactly settled in East London. The stakes are high for Chelsea too, with a Champions League spot tantalisingly close. A win for West Ham would see the relegation issue remain undecided until the last day of the season. West Ham have taken 18 points in their last 9 games, and they're certainly throwing everything at survival. Dara Maloney is your commentator.
West Ham have brought Paolo Di Canio back into their squad for this one, but he starts on the bench. Joe Cole, Les Ferdinand and Christian Daly have all been past fit to play. Ian Pearce is suspended, while Michael Carrick and Lee Bowyer are injured. Don Hutchison is on the bench. Chelsea have dropped Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank with Ido Johnson starting up front. Jody Morris is in midfield. Despite missing an international match during the week, Manu Petit plays. There's a recall for Celestine Babayaro. Jesper Gronkjar and Enrique De Lucas have been left out of the squad altogether. The referee referee for this afternoon from Essex. It's Andy Durso. And away we go at Upton Park. West Ham from left to right in the first half. And has there ever been a bigger match in the recent history of West Ham United? Trevor Brooking, their caretaker manager. This has to be 3 points for West Ham, and for both sides, untold millions riding on the outcome here. Steve Lomas had an injection before kick-off to try and make sure that ankle holds up. Sinclair with the cross, here's a chance straight away. Canute, they're following in, it's Defoe. Saved by Cudicini, not enough power in the shot. Well, West Ham have to really go for broke in this. That was a glorious chance. The marking from Babayaro was atrocious. Defoe should have done better. Now here is Canute for West Ham, making it difficult for Desai. Canute still in possession, it's come through. Ferdinand tries to get there. Lampard with a terrible clearance. Melchiot clears it. Well, they're dealing with it, Chelsea, but only just. And West Ham have won it back. Joe Cole's great challenge. Here's Canute supporting his Johnson. What will the cross be like? Well, the challenge from Desai is exceptional. Really put his body on the line. West Ham get the corner. First corner of the game. Christian Daly has come up from centre-back to add an extra dimension. Brevitt looks for a flick. It's scrambled away, it was Desai. Now Cole. Momentum lost for a moment, but Brevitt will try and give it back to them. On its way, looks for a flick. Oh, that's a fantastic save from Cudicini to deny Canute. Trevor Brooking can't believe it, and what a start West Ham have made. No goals to show for it. But they don't look like a side fighting for their lives in the Premiership, playing some great football, and this is world-class goalkeeping from Cudicini. Now Sinclair will fancy a run at Melchiot. Trevor Sinclair, again the usual suspects in the centre. Canute up for it. Oh, Les Ferdinand. That was a great opportunity for West Ham. Once more Chelsea looking shaky at the back. Desai beaten in the air by Canute. Jody Morris, Ider Johnson, and now Zola. Morris goes again on the outside. Zola goes himself over the top. Lomas, Johnson, Lomas again. That's a lovely ball through to Johnson. A great chance for West Ham. Took a deflection on the way through. Sinclair saved. Now Ferdinand. Oh, nobody in support for Les Ferdinand. This is Chelsea's second corner. Graham Lasso takes it. Melchiot there. Lampard. Somehow it stayed out. James got a touch to it. There may have been another deflection. Well, an unbelievable series of events there. And it stays 0-0. Sinclair trying to give Melchiot the run around, but the Dutch international still there. Sinclair, though, gets his cross in. Cudicini stays on his line. Lomas, another great save from Cudicini. 6 West Ham players in the area waiting for the corner. Looks for a flick, and Cudicini stops it. That is an unbelievable save from Carlo Cudicini. And now it's Gudjohnsen. Zola back in an onside position. Gudjohnsen gives it to Zola. Couldn't get away from Glenn Johnson. West Ham defenders have got some very important challenges in that final third during the course of this game. This is Canute. They will have more chances between now and the end, but time against them. Canute. Joe Cole. Is this the moment? Cole plays it wide to Sinclair. Trevor Sinclair. It's there for Di Canio, and he's done it! Paolo Di Canio, after 25 minutes of the second half, has scored. The substitute who's leaving the club has come on, and he's scored. Trevor Brooking can't believe it. West Ham deserve the lead. There look to be tears in Di Canio's eyes. What an unbelievable story. and maybe they'll try and keep him at Upton Park after all. Here it is again. Canute did so well first of all. Joe Cole played it wide to Sinclair. It was drilled in, and Di Canio absolutely smacked it in. Well, was he in an offside position when it was belted across? It took a deflection on the way through. Sinclair sent it in. It came off Babayaro. Gallas couldn't get to it. Di Canio with a super finish. And Trevor Brooking, well, the emotion says it all. West Ham, are they going to stay in the Premiership? West Ham have to win. They go to Birmingham tomorrow week to try and pull off a dramatic revival. Here is Lampard, and David James has managed to stop it. Lampard hit that well. The former West Ham man would have been the modern-day Dennis Law against his old club. Stoppage time almost up. They have to keep this corner out, West Ham. The referee has a look at his watch. He will allow Chelsea to take the throw, and no, he won't, and they've done it. They've won again. Unbelievable. Paolo Di Canio, so long the villain here at Upton Park, is the hero today. His first appearance since February. He came on as a substitute, and he scores the most important goal of his West Ham career. It's finished. West Ham 1, Chelsea 0. We'll be back after the break.
Games. But before we discuss the race for Europe, let's check in with some of the other contenders for European football next season. Andrew O'Connor, and first, John Kenny report.
Newcastle knew that 4 points from the remaining 2 games would be enough to secure a place in the Champions League qualifiers, and they faced a Birmingham side who had already secured their place in the English League's elite next season. If they needed something else this afternoon, Batman and Boy Wonder were on Newcastle's side. The game turned 5 minutes before the break. Matthew Upson sent off for upending Craig Bellamy, and Hugo Viana found the back of the net from the resultant free kick. Now facing 10 men, Newcastle had the best of the second half. Kieran Dyer's shot hit the base of the post. Olivier Bernard's cross went unrewarded when Shola Amiobi's header crashed back into play off the crossbar. Ian Bennett dropping gratefully onto the loose ball. Amiobi was guilty of a glaring miss late on, but it mattered little. Newcastle took all 3 points courtesy of the 1-0 win, and results elsewhere meant that Newcastle guaranteed their Champions League spot and 3rd place in the Premiership this season.
A win today for Fulham would guarantee the club Premiership football next season. Everton knew 3 points would keep them on course for the UEFA Cup, but luck wasn't on their side. Alan Stubbs scored a nightmare own goal in the 34th minute. Sean Davis flicked on John Harley's drive. Stubbs flung out a leg, but managed to lob Richard Wright. Alain Goma almost doubled Fulham's lead immediately with a powerful header, but it hit the crossbar. They didn't have to wait long for number 2 though. Steve Malbrang's vicious free kick brushed by Gravison and squeezed under Richard Wright. You have to feel sorry for the keeper, and he'll never enjoy watching this replay. Mr. Moyes wasn't happy, and neither was he. 2 minutes from time, Louis Saha could have added to the scoreline, but Wright saved spectacularly. Safety for Fulham, but Everton's UEFA Cup hopes are in serious danger.
Swedish international Marcus Alback has become Villa's saviour in recent weeks, scoring 3 in 3 to arrest their slide, and a win against Sunderland would avoid a potential relegation cliffhanger against Leeds next week. And Alback should really have put his side ahead in the first half, but he dragged his shot wide with Mark Poom left flat-footed in the Sunderland goal. Sunderland, who'd lost 13 on the spin, had chances of their own. 75 minutes in, Kevin Kyle missed an absolute sitter. Kevin Phillips knocked down a cross by Chris Black, but Kyle couldn't find the target. And the miss proved to be costly for Mick McCarthy's side. 10 minutes from time, Alback made it 4 in 4 to ensure that Villa will be in the Premiership next season, and Sunderland's 14th defeat in a row means they'll be relegated with the lowest points tally in Premiership history.
evening's game had plenty of significance after West Ham's win over Chelsea this afternoon. Bolton needed 3 points to escape from the drop zone, while Southampton were looking to get back on track after winning just one of their last 6 games. It was a game full of tension and precious few chances. Southampton were the brighter in the first half, Matt Oakley going close after 5 minutes. Bolton's cautious approach left Henrik Pettersson isolated up front, but he did get his side's only meaningful chance, set up by JJ Okocha. Southampton's only worry between now and the FA Cup final is trying to satisfy the huge demand for tickets. They were in a relaxed mood, and it was Brett Ormerod who should have put their side in front after half an hour. The second half didn't improve much, though there was a flurry of activity as Fernandes set James Beattie off, and his deflected shot was missed by Ormerod at the far post. Bolton broke away quickly. The long ball caught Southampton off guard, and Yves Saint-André outstripped the defence, but couldn't beat Antoniemi in the Southampton goal. A poor game, finishing featureless and scoreless, which leaves Bolton above the drop zone and goal difference, and a week to wait for their fate to be decided.
What a cliffhanger the week is going to be. But before we get down to discussion, let's have a look now at the top of the table. And of course, the significance there is that Newcastle United have qualified again for the Champions League. And there were those, Eamon, who suggested at one stage that their qualification this year was a fluke, but they have proven again that they're a well-organised club, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Well-organised off the field, and Bobby Robson has bought well, he's bought young players, and you could see Newcastle actually improving as a side. And it's a great achievement for Bobby Robson to get them into the Champions League.
Yeah.
No
and a
question.
huge contrast, John, with your old club Leeds. Let's look at the trouble they're in at the bottom of the table, for instance.
Big trouble, Bill. I think, you know, when Bobby Robson came to Newcastle, I think that's what you judge it on. Leeds probably top of the league, and Newcastle were mid-table, and it shows you what if a manager does a good job. I mean, look at Leeds in that position. From being top of the league last Christmas 12 months, Bill, they top of the league. And now they could well go down because they're in a position now that they probably feel they shouldn't be in. Bolton have a chance to get out of it, West Ham have a chance to get out of it now, and it could go to the last match of the season where Leeds could be in serious trouble.
They may not have the appetite, you mean, is it?
Well, West Ham and Bolton and the teams who've been down there have that fighting mentality since before Christmas, Bill. They expect to be in the relegation, and I think if anybody said to West Ham a few weeks ago, you've got a chance to go to the last match of the season, they'd have taken it gladly, whereas Leeds, they wouldn't have even thought of it.
I agree with that. I think psychologically Leeds are not prepared for this, and I think they're most at risk next week.
And you wouldn't have given much chance tomorrow, would you? Against Arsenal?
I would. Arsenal are on the ropes a little bit, but you'd have to fancy Arsenal win that match. Leeds have a goal difference advantage over Bolton and West Ham, but in my view, they're the most at risk.
OK. Now, Liverpool and Chelsea, of course, would rue today's results in a big way. Let's have a look at the Liverpool match, John. And
good opening goal, just as well. Gets a deflection. Boris, a little bit like Van Nistelrooy's goal today. To be able to do that was terrific. And this is almost just as good. Boris is on top of him inside the 6-yard line. Could have been all over, but there's Anelka. The Liverpool let go at the end of last season, scored a winner for them.
Yeah, Keegan says that Schmeichel is the best keeper that the Premiership has ever seen.
It's not.
Surely continue against an already relegated West Brom side, whose fans arrived in big numbers to Ewood Park, determined to give their side a decent send-off back to the First Division. Many in refereeing tops to protest at what they perceive to be unfair treatment this season. 10 minutes in, Blackburn though ahead. Damien Duff raced through to finish neatly to put Graham Souness' side in the driving seat. However, West Brom hadn't read the script, and Jason Kumas, their best player on show at Ewood, made it 1-1 early in the second half via deflection off a Rovers defender. The deflection off Lucas Neal giving Brad Friedel no chance. Blackburn had opportunities to get the win that would lift them above Everton, but Andy Cole chickened out of a challenge on Russell Holt, and David Dunn fired high, wide and handsome, and it finished 1-1.
Steve McLaren rang the changes following 3 successive defeats. Glenn Hoddle's team are also faltering, having lost 5 of the previous 8 games. Middlesbrough hadn't scored in over 6 hours of play, but today they made the breakthrough after just 23 minutes. Gillard Nemeth's shot was beaten away by Casey Keller, but Malcolm Christie was there to tap in the rebound for his 4th goal for the club on his 100th career league start. Uriah Rennie gave a penalty for this awkward challenge by Chris Perry on Nemeth. Contact was made outside the box. Rennie gave it a straight red card, and Perry was off. Keller did get a hand to Juninho's penalty, but the Brazilian was there to follow up. The next goal took another 3 minutes. Luke Wilkshire's shot was only partially cleared, and Nemeth took advantage. The Slovakian was brilliant all match and deserved his 7th of the season. Massimo Macaroni came on at half-time and took only 6 minutes to put Middlesbrough 4-0 ahead. Nemeth robbed Ledley King, and the Italian beat Keller easily enough. Jamie Redknapp had also come in at the break for his first outing this year following a fractured toe in December, and his perfectly flighted 25-yard free kick went beyond Mark Schwarzer into the top left-hand corner. Macaroni scored his second with 15 minutes to go. A mazy run, a neat through ball from Juninho, and the Italian made no mistake for his 9th of the campaign. So Borough found their scoring touch at last at the Riverside as Spurs continued to stutter.
But before we go, here's a look at the sport coming up on RTE over the next week.
Oh, there was an
opera down at Upton Park.
Yeah, you never guess he was Italian, would you, pal? Absolutely fantastic stuff. Okay, well, Bolton knew a point at Southampton would mean their fate would remain in their own hands, and a point is what they got. Brian Marwood and Alan Parry, your commentators.
Niemi's kick, aimed at Beattie, who again took the ball down brilliantly on his chest and feeds it into Ormerod.
Hey, why not? When you're in the form that he's in at the moment, 3 goals in his last 4 games. He's thinking every time he gets into situations like this, he's got half a chance. I think initially it was a foul by James Beattie. That didn't matter.
Bridge. Useful ball for Ormerod. Clever. Brett Ormerod did everything right till it came to the shot.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. You know, his run was fantastic, the way that he got himself away from Laville. And he's looked very, very bright and hungry.
Campo for Bolton. Kocher the target, way out there on the left. It's a good-looking cross. Pedersen! Well, that was a chance.
It was a good chance, and he knows it as well. From the pass from Campo, that must have been 50 yards to Kocher. And he gets a terrific ball to the far post. Paul Telfer is not bad from situations like this. And of course, the power of Beattie.
Flicked on by him. Svensson! Magnificent save with his feet by Jääskeläinen, who's in there again to punch away. Still Svensson. Then Marsden.
Want your goalkeeper to come up with important saves. Well, he's just done it twice here, Jääskeläinen. That's a good reaction from Michael Svensson's strike. And then here, he just comes and takes out everybody.
Back to Oakley, and on to Fernandez. Svensson, it's come to Beattie, who's offside. It won't count. Offside.
And as this ball is fired in towards the goal, you can see James Beattie just slow to get out. It's the correct decision.
Committed a lot of men forward here, Bolton. They're going to have to get back quickly. Fernandez. And Beattie finds some room and took it down brilliantly. Could still go in. Oh, how did it not go in?
Jääskeläinen really is scampering towards his far post. And how on earth did that stay out?
Bergson! Well, certainly climbed well, but couldn't direct it on target.
Well, that's a great chance.
That's It's a lovely ball. Djorkaeff, claim of handball there. Referee had a long look at it.
See Paul Telfer there, he really just jumps towards Djorkaeff, and that's a handball.
The most important thing was to come away with a draw first and foremost. Anything after that would be, or would have been, a massive bonus for us. Winning an away game in the Premiership is a huge task for us anywhere, and extra pressure from West Ham winning made us be a little bit more defensive.
Full credit to West Ham, they pushed us all the way, but now our fate is on our own hands, and we have to perform well against Middlesbrough, get the 3 points, and then now our Premiership status is secured with that.
A point is what they got.
And resuming a rivalry today with Martin Keown, who's back in the Arsenal starting lineup. Remember, he only came on as a substitute to concede that own goal at Bolton that may just be the pivotal moment in the race with Manchester United. That match marked the end of Sol Campbell's season. He is hurting inwardly. You heard that in his interview with Claire Tomlinson. But he's a big man, and he's got to show that over the next few weeks and live with his bitter, bitter disappointment. Arsene Wenger showed the strain last weekend when his side lost that 2-0 lead. They've actually drawn 5 Premiership games this year. They've been in front in all of them. Peter Reid has won 2 of his 6 games in charge of Leeds, both against London opposition. Now he's back at Highbury, where a 3-1 defeat in October ended his 7.5-year tenure as manager of Sunderland. He's in the sunshine, certainly shirt-sleeve order. Warm May Sunday afternoon in North London.
I should have known, Mark, we talked about the back four of Arsenal. As soon as we kick off, I'll mention it to you. It's a smart change from Arsene Wenger, only subtle but smart. You see Keown and Luzhny. He's actually put Keown and Kolo Touré's side. Experience, knows what the job's about. Split the 2 players. That makes pretty good sense. It shows a manager is thinking.
If Mark Viduka's thinking, he might just put himself on Luzhny.
Yeah.
Here is Oleg Luzhny. Of course, he's not an inexperienced player, but he's an international as a right back. He's been around long enough to have played for the old Soviet Union. He's now Ukrainian by football nationality.
Might see a lot of this, I think, particularly early on. Arsenal just probing, having to go across the pitch rather than forward.
Sylvain Wiltord has scored in the 2 away games recently at Middlesbrough and at Bolton. Parlour in the engine room with Gilberto, who's been to Mexico and back since he played at Reebok last weekend, representing Brazil. Solid Ashley Cole, who of course was very much a central figure in the game the last time Leeds were here. That's a long time ago now, almost 2 years, but Leeds ended with 9 men, but 3 points. And Danny Mills and Ashley Cole clashed in Mills's red card. Lee Bowyer, now of course gone, was the other player sent off. Again, very much in Cole's territory of the game. Kuehl. Pires gets a foot in. And then likewise Jason Wilcox for Leeds United. Ian Hart trying to switch the play, keeping it in the family with Gary Kelly. Backer. Viduka.
Well, that was a free kick, but the referee tried to play advantage, at least I think he did.
The referee is Alan Riley, incidentally. Bergkamp. Here's Henry. And Lucas Radovich, who's a great warrior, plays through pain barriers and is needed by Leeds in these circumstances for sure.
What a run, right across the face. He did well, Radovich. I thought once he'd gotten his body in front, Henry had been trying to come across Radovich, stop the tackle, but he didn't quite get there. But that's a threat when you leave a bit of space.
Pires with the corner. It's against the bar and slapped back into play.
That might have been Gilberto, wasn't it?
Gilberto, yeah, I think so. Still looking for his first Premiership goal, still looking for his first Highbury goal.
Well, it was a thumping header.
Gilberto. The versatile Kolo Touré used at right back today. Arsenal so close to a very early breakthrough. Here's Pires. Henry. Touré trying to take on Leeds at top pace. Keown close to Viduka there. Leeds' last game at home to Aston Villa, who secured their Premiership safety yesterday. Cole.
That's a good right side to have, isn't it, Mark? See Danny Mills, although he wasn't a defending player then, it's easy for them just to accept that if it's Gary Kelly or himself, either of them can do the job at right back and the one in front just protecting. So you'd think that Leeds would think that'd be a pretty solid part of their team.
Luzhny. Leeds dropping off. The outlet for Arsenal to Touré. Parlour. Henry. It's the kind of amassed ranks that Peter Reid wants from his team, but Arsenal trying to work a way through. Safety in numbers, though, for the visitors from Yorkshire. And then the running by Kuehl from Wilcox's pass. Oh, my goodness! Oh. Mark that down as a very, very special moment. It's Harry Kuehl with a scorcher.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Take a bow, son. Take a bow. He hasn't defended as deep as I thought, Martin, and because of that, he's put himself in a position here. It's a brilliant through ball, but he ain't going anywhere. You think not, but the ball is. I think he's getting closed down. He knows he has to take it early, but you will not see a better strike anywhere than that. The fact that it was rising, it was on the way back up, it wasn't a natural half volley, Martin, made it even more difficult. Executed 100% perfection.
Arsenal have hit the bar, Leeds have hit the back of David Seaman's net. Well, it's going to be even more of a test of character for Arsenal here. They've been feeling that the breaks have gone Manchester United's way. Of course, they got an early goal. Henry trying to reply in kind if that is impossible to emulate what Kuehl has just done. It was a sensational goal. And the Leeds fans in that corner of the ground looking across through the net at Kuehl would have seen it from a wonderful angle, and no wonder they're celebrating. But the downside, it's come very, very early.
Well, I mean, if Arsenal are going to concede the better first five than last five, to go one down, no doubt about that. I'm just astounded. I mean, I've seen this boy score some goals, man. I've seen some goals scored in the 10 years of the Premiership, but I have to say, we're talking about the England goalkeeper in goal as well.
Well, it's not been a problem for Peter Reid getting goals from this group of Leeds United players. The problem has come at the other end. In goes Viduka.
Yeah, I talked to Peter last night and he says, you know, since he's been there, he said, we've always looked like we're going to score, but too many individual errors. And he used the word individual. He didn't think it was a team thing, but he thought too many players were making bad decisions at the back and costing themselves goals. Well, champions are tested in the defence of the title. Arsenal have been, and this is another one.
Kuehl. Bergkamp. Henry. Some damage to be repaired in this match. And the man who's got an individual double in terms of awards from players and football writers, as Arsenal look as though one leg of Their double defence is teetering on the brink here.
What Leeds are trying to do defensively, they've been very, very narrow in the midfield at times. Kelly and Wilcox, the wide players, have really gone tight in, Mark. And what they're saying to Arsenal in many respects is, if you're going to have the ball, we're happy to let you have it wide. If you want to cross it, fine. And, you know, the records suggest that there ain't an awful lot of goals when Arsenal toss the ball in from wide areas. So they're trying to limit the kind of space that Perez is looking for, to feed a little ball in. But happy for it to go where it is now and deal with the cross.
Toure decides not to cross. Pires, Gilberto. Toure. Harry Kewell has tucked into midfield now. Now he's just checking out in case the ball is switched forward quickly, but they've lost track of Ashley Cole of Leeds. Here's Parler. Keown. Perez. Caught by Wilcox.
Ian Hart very quick to apologise. He's just thrashed the ball trying to clear it and caught Perez on the way through.
Stopping it, getting to Keown, whose last Premiership goal was against Leeds at Elland Road.
No, it wasn't. It was against Bolton last week.
You're right. His last Premiership goal for Arsenal. The pedantic Mr. Gray. Cole. Arsenal fans, I'm sure, still dwelling on the fact that their team were within millimetres of scoring first prior to a goal. Well, even if it's against your team, to be here to see it. Did he see it?
No, he didn't. I think surprise. You always, there's something that you try and tell strikers that the earlier they can take the shot, Martin, but that was ridiculously early. Obviously, often the goalkeeper isn't set. But I think that Harry Kewell assessed very quickly that had he taken another touch in it, he might well have been closed out. 2v1 were against him.
It was so early, it was almost yesterday.
Yeah.
Kelly.
Yeah, he bought a ticket, didn't he? And he certainly won the raffle.
Will he win the match? If that happens for Leeds, then they can relax. Advantage played by Alan Wiley. For a player who was decked. Flag up against Ulrich. Well, plenty of reaction from Leeds United fans. What about the Manchester United fans? And some another worrying moments for Arsene Wenger.
Well, without the skipper as well, Martin, I think that is the thing. There's been much has been made of players out, but I had a quick look back at when Arsenal trounced Leeds at Elland Road and people were saying that this was one of the best performances they'd ever seen. They did that without Keown, Bergkamp, Lundberg and Perez in the starting lineup. So there were plenty of players missing that day, but the one, when things aren't quite going here, that you would look to on this pitch is certainly the one who's not there, and that's the captain.
Well, this one is trying to do his best to minimise the loss of Ray Parler. Here goes Cole. Back comes Kelly, cleared by Mills. It's Viduka's great strength. Kewell's onside, he's away again. David Seaman comes out, Kewell's round him. But Seaman at least forced him wide, and on his right side.
What a chance.
Which isn't his stronger side. Kewell couldn't double the Leeds lead.
Well, in 7 minutes, we go from admiring this boy's finishing to talking about him squandering a golden opportunity. I didn't think he had to go around the goalkeeper. You see, he puts this on his left foot, so it's opened up just to bend at far corner. With his natural side, into the far corner, a little bit of bend, opened his body up well. For some reason, decided to go around him, narrowed the angle, chance was gone. What a chance for Leeds United. But Viduka, we talked about his ability to hold up, Martin, one of the best. Didn't he do it brilliantly there? Martin Keown stepped out, trying to play offside from the other side of the pitch, and Kewell was away.
Hart. Good anticipation by Luzhny, but the ball still with Leeds, and now it's with Kuehl, which means problems for Arsenal. They're biting away at him there, and Kuehl sits in indignation that he hasn't got a free kick. Might be worth looking at that again if Arsenal equalise here. Bergkamp, again, Wiltor flattened after he played the ball. Played by Dubry.
Great ball. Just no one going near post.
Pires. Gilberto.
See how narrow Gareth Kelly is in that. Happy for it to come to Cole there if it was going. But what he didn't want, Gareth Kelly, was it to be threaded centrally. Well, it might be 1-0, but it could easily have been 1-0. This was a thumping header from Gilberto. But what, some 2.5 minutes later, they had to watch this stunning, and I mean stunning, strike from Harry Kuehl.
Like one of his Aussie counterparts in cricket driving on the up, wasn't it? Here's Kelly. Wilcox. Viduka! Nice football from Leeds United.
Clever effort. Arsenal are all over the place there. Leeds just picked holes in them. Lovely football.
Pires. Wiltor. Can't get it back to Pires.
Might just suit Arsenal actually if Leeds get a bit ambitious, Martin. Commit too many players forward.
Bergkamp. So different to the circumstances at Ellen Road early in the season. Arsenal were really on the boil then, and they swept Leeds aside, and at the moment it's Arsenal who are labouring here. It is a much changed defensive lineup, of course. You do feel if Leeds grasp the nettle, and they've certainly shown every willingness to do that, but they will make further chances.
Kuehl and Viduka have been a handful. They really have. The movement, their ability with the ball. It's been at its best in the opening 15 minutes of this match, and it's really, really tested Arsenal at the back.
Henry still going. Parried by Robinson. In goes Pires. Great defending by Mills. That's when the goalkeeper needs his mates to react, and Mills certainly came into that category.
That looked a bread and butter save. I don't know what happened to Paul Robinson there. It was close to him. It was at a good height, but he shoveled it out, not very convincingly.
Helped on by Pires and helped behind in the end.
Could have gone to ground on Remark. He could have been getting himself a free kick just about here. The tackle comes in. That would have been a free kick. Oh, the deflection. But even then, his goalkeeper of Paul's ability should have been just taking that, plucking it out the air. Wasn't that far away from him.
He has played here once before. That was in the FA Youth Cup, the year that Leeds won it. And the left back in that team was this fella, the star striker, Harry Kuehl.
Oh, busy linesman, I'm afraid.
Gilberto.
Great tackle.
Viduka. Kuehl in the middle.
Must be obstruction, surely.
Yeah, I think Alan Wiley, to be fair, just waited to see, tried in this frantic opening 15 minutes or so to play every advantage going. Leeds happy to get a free kick. Remember, Ian Hart here.
Yeah.
Last time Leeds played here, caught David Seaman out. The goalkeeper's ready now.
Well, he's only putting a couple there, and it's not very convincing. Bergkamp, Pires offering a little bit of a wall. Hart will take this one.
Well, that was shades of Manchester United away, wasn't it, when Viduka scored from a Hart free kick in a similar position a couple of months ago.
I think he wants a corner here. He really pushes Luzhny, and Luzhny's got a right good chunk of Viduka. It certainly looked like it's Luzhny's the one that comes off. They go up back post. Well, it could have been any of them, really. He certainly had enough of Viduka.
I was going to say, he might have wanted a penalty.
Yeah, he had enough of them. I think the Aussie asked the question of Alan Wiley, but I think Leeds need another if they're going to win this. I think Arsenal will score today, Martin. So I do think Leeds, if they're going to win the game, are going to have to score more than they won.
Parlour. Gilberto. The last time Arsenal failed to score in the Premiership was a day when they lost the Championship. And Middlesbrough won here 3-0. But in your pedantic mood, you'll point out that they scored 2 of those 3 Middlesbrough goals, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't have known that, actually, so I would not have known that. Well, he'll fancy it, Henry. I don't think there's a doubt about that.
Well, you're not happy with the ball. Steve Bennett, the 4th official, sends out the replacement.
That's what Peter Reid wouldn't want his side to do too often today, Martin. Give Thierry Henry, I know it's what, 20, 25, 24 yards out, whatever. They don't want to be giving them too many of these free shots.
Henry takes, and the deflection this time was kind to Paul Robinson.
I think the goalkeeper might have a different interpretation of that, had it taken a bigger deflection, gone past him. The ball just seemed to disintegrate there. It went through it rather than round it in any way.
And there's still a scenario that brings hope to Arsenal if they can take the Championship race to next Sunday by winning today and on Wednesday here against Southampton. Yesterday's results do mean that Everton's hopes of playing in Europe next season may depend on beating Manchester United or avoiding defeat. So plenty of incentive for David Moyes' men on the day that Arsenal finish off their league season at Sunderland. But 20 minutes gone here, and Arsenal are behind at Highbury. Dubry.
If we get the starting positions right, Dubry and Radaby will be happy to cope with that kind of ball, Martin, to Thierry Henry.
Viduka. It's a miscue by Danny Mills. Gilberto. Keogh. Intercepted by Bakker. Now Toure, Will Toure ahead of him. Bergkamp. Pires. Quick feet from Arsenal, but again, numbers back in force for Leeds United. Almost too many. Eventually, Kuehl did work it wide to Jason Wilcox cropping up on the right-hand side. Very much left-footed. Mills. Now he's trying to lift the spirits of the supporters and raise the expectation level of the team.
Well, they have to believe, Arsenal players. I can't believe they don't, Martin.
Here comes Toure at pace, and he's got plenty of that. Nicely done for Bergkamp. Back for Kolo Toure again, who was a scorer at Ellen Road. One of the 2 first-team goals that he's got. Another crucial equaliser at Chelsea. Bergkamp, who hasn't scored a league goal here this season. That is an extraordinary statistic.
It is, isn't it? Only 3 Premiership goals for Dennis Bergkamp. He started 21 games, so it's not as if he hadn't started enough.
Ray Parlour is being followed by the player cam. Usual facilities today for Sky Digital viewers via the remote and the red button on it.
Know where he's from, know where he's known as.
I know where he's from. He's from Romford, isn't he? Yeah.
The Romford Pelly, and I tell you, the way it is now, Martin, they could do with a bit of that, Arsenal, a little bit of inspiration.
Dubry, who's completing his 4th season with Leeds, and he's only just played over 50 first-team games. There have been some off-the-field distractions in that time. Gilberto. Toure. This time it's Matteo going in. The Leeds captain really timed the challenge.
Just mistimes it. Kicks in at the back of Gilberto. This one's a little further out. Less of a concern if you concede a free kick here. I don't think it's a bad thing from a Leeds point of view if they try and break the game up. Giving away little free kicks here and there, but not in dangerous areas, obviously. But it's just a little bit of clearing their head, I think, for Arsenal at the moment. Peter Reid will be delighted with the first quarter of this match. I think the plans have worked pretty well. The tactics that he set out, defend deep, 2 banks of 4, break quickly. Can't argue with the way it's worked at the moment. Probably could and probably should be 2-0 up, Martin. But you're not champions for not being able to absorb this and come back.
Saturday, midday. We're into playoffs, of course. Nottingham Forest against Sheffield United. Sky Sports 1. Keown has stayed down.
Looks like he took a whack of some kind. There was very much a crowd scene in there.
Perez. Wiltor taking over. Blocked by Mills. Bergkamp couldn't get a telling touch. Nose that's been bashed a few times down the years.
You see he goes in there, they go in a crowd scene in between Radaby and Dubry. Is it worse than that, Mark?
Cole, more height than distance. Ish back pass by Keown. Judged the front of the ball. Ian Hart did that. Bergkamp couldn't take it on.
But it's been a problem for Arsenal, hasn't it, man, in recent weeks, first halves of football matches. They don't seem to quite have started the games well. Bolton was an example last week. Middlesbrough, even the game they won, they didn't play particularly well. Manchester United here, they didn't play particularly well first half. It has been a problem for Arsene Wenger's side.
Well, we keep going back to that match at Manchester City in February. They scored 4 goals in no time at all. And we're looking then the Arsenal that Leeds United saw at Ellen Road early in the season. Nothing has really flowed on a regular basis since then for them in the Premiership. Perez.
It's asking a lot of Viduka.
Cole. Keel is quick, but so is Ashley Cole, and he's done his running with the ball, but Danny Mills not to be deceived.
Well, he did great, Danny Mills, there, because Cole was through and he skipped past him.
It is a different way of playing for Leeds. Terry Venables with his own considered approach. Very, very organised in terms of dealing with the calibre of the opposition and what he expected from all his players, even the front men. Just open it up a little, Peter Reid. Certainly Mark Viduka spoken out as it enjoying that freedom, and the record shows that. Here's Paolo, though, trying to find some freedom for Henry.
I think it's tempo in the game. I did feel I talked about it often as Terry was there. It was a marked difference to when David O'Leary was in charge. They were always a better team to me when they were on the front foot and they were playing the game at a brighter tempo and a quicker pace to their game.
Toure. Now Parlour. Leeds run away from him, so Parlour advances. Wiltor. No way through. Leeds will hope it remains that way. Cole. Encouraged to have a crack, but
it's been the key so far, isn't it, Mark? Denying Arsenal the ability to feed little balls through.
Well, they played with plenty of spirit, Arsenal. I wondered about that because they've certainly been downhearted since they returned from the Reebok. Blowing that 2-goal lead, they may well have felt they've blown their chances of not just retaining the championship, but of achieving a first in English football history. League and FA Cup doubles have never been done in consecutive seasons. I wonder how it's going at that Ferguson birthday party. St. Mike's grandson being honoured by the presence of the Manchester United manager.
Do you honestly think you won't know the score?
No. The television might be just tucked away in another room now. Maybe we'll find out later today. Here's Danny Mills. So often this fixture has been fought out, teams with championship ambitions, certainly European ambitions. It's very strange to look at Leeds United in this perilous state. And we certainly feel for the future of the club, if they were to go down, would be the rise and fall of the Ellen Road Empire. Cole, Pires, Gilberto, Parr. Oh, it's turned onto the frame of the goal and then turned in by Henry, and it's 1-1. But Parler set it up from long range. Robinson couldn't deal with it decisively, and Henry was on the spot.
Well, we talked about the run from Pelé, and he's come up with the goods. For the first time, I talked about it being narrow, but they get too narrow, Martin. Look how much of a space there is there. In all honesty, it's a ridiculous shot to take on. He's so far out that you think he can't do anything. You would be shouting to him, hit it, hit it. Well, hit it he did. It took the goalkeeper by surprise, but top marks to the top marksman. He followed it in, he took a chance, he gambled, and as strikers often do, they get the reward when they do that.
There's another shot taken early, like the example set by Harry Kewell at the other end. Parler hasn't scored in the Premiership for over 2 years. He still hasn't scored for over 2 years, but he can take a big chunk of pride in the way that the Gunners have equalised here. As Henry takes his Premiership tally of goals this season to 23. Level with James Beattie, one behind Ruud van Nistelrooy. They'll be rocking in Romford.
That was a fine effort. When you talked about luck and you mentioned how Arsenal have felt they haven't had much, well, when the ball strikes the woodwork like that, Martin, and it's going away from the goalkeeper, the last thing you expect is it to come back again, the opposite direction. And it was only because I hit the frame of the goal right on the junction of post and bar that was able to do that.
I bet you've done those training sessions down the years, rebounds, rebounds, haven't you? Follow it in. Henry followed it in, and the Frenchman got full value for it that time. Pires. Arsenal don't often come back from behind to win. They did it, I remember, at West Bromwich Albion this season, but then, of course, they aren't behind that often.
No, that's the only game I think they've come from behind to win this season. Well, I told you they'd score.
I don't remember telling you that they wouldn't. Henry. Just not sure of the context. They have to win, Arsenal. And here's Bergkamp. Cross goes Duberry. Well defended. Good upper body strength against Bergkamp, who's an artist, but he's also a big man as well. When you stand alongside him, he's a 6-footer.
Well, it's a man who's in the skipper's position in midfield. I think it's a huge piece of credit. You see what I mean about that rebound off that framework, Martin? Really shouldn't have come back that way, should it? But it did, to the only Arsenal player in there. Relief for the Arsenal manager. His team have got the best part of an hour now to find a winner.
That's as we are at the moment, at the top. Also, of course, an alteration to matters at the bottom as well. Peter Reid knows all about relegation mathematics. He went down with Sunderland on 40 points, which is a joint record with Bolton, an enviable record in the Premiership. Just looking back in the record books this morning, Andy, when there was a 38-game Division 1 season, the old Division 1, Sheffield Wednesday actually went down in 1990 under Ron Atkinson with 43 points from a 38-game season. And that went right to the last kick of that season, didn't it?
Well, he's closing in, and Van Nistelrooy again narrows the gap. Joins James Beattie in 23, I think, and Van Nistelrooy in 24 in search for the golden boot. But that's, well, for Henry and for Van Nistelrooy, it doesn't really matter. That's the second part of it. They want the big one.
There's been one or two strikers down the years for whom that would have been the bigger issue, but Henry doesn't come into that category. He certainly wants the collective reward for Arsenal Football Club. Parlour. Another shot on for him. There is. Oh, it's off the line by Dewberry. The football match is suddenly becoming a parlour game.
Now that's fantastic defending from Michael Dewberry.
Why was he there?
No idea. Well, he just sensed danger. That's what defending is all about. The sensing danger, Martin. It's taking a position where you think, you know, the ball might drop or a player might run, and you watch Dewberry as he jogs back in and they lose the ball, comes back into the frame here, and you look as Parlour gets it, he backs away, and he suddenly thinks there might be something on. Excellent
something
defending.
on at the other end here with Bakker. Perez. Parlour again. Perez and Henry. Very nimble footwork. Oh, against the post again.
Flags up.
It's no goal.
Flags up against Wiltord. It must be. Had it gone straight in, Martin, it's goal. So how important was the little touch? And I think it was a touch from the goalkeeper. Might have got a deflection here. He's offside. There's no doubt about that, but I think a little deflection. But he's offside. Second phase of that, flag rightly goes up. It's close, but the right decision. But it's lifted. The Highbury faithful. It's a quiet opening 20 minutes. They've suddenly found their voices.
They've suddenly found a sweet spot on the inside of that post, haven't they? Perez. Wiltord. With the cheers that were about to celebrate a 2-1 lead have stayed in the throats. It's still 1-1. It's an all-engrossing football match, and it's Wiltord. Does this one go in? It doesn't.
Well, you just feel Leeds United need to see this out. It's the first time in the match that they've really been pressed back and they've looked uncomfortable. With 8 minutes to half-time, Arsenal sends a second goal. You feel that they'll certainly push forward, looking for it before half-time.
Danny Mills trying to dog the footsteps of Henry. He's given away the free kick. Henry comes again, takes on Q into Bergkamp's gifted feet. Just rather flicked at it wide. It was a last resort, really. Played somewhat blind by the Dutchman. Hart.
Nowhere to go. He's done well.
Mills. Wales would like to make a good impression today. Of course, Gary Neville, unluckily injured again. And Viduka has certainly been making a good impression.
It's just a threat, isn't it, every now and again, Mark, when Leeds decide to come forward. This is a lovely ball. Look at the check on it, sits and stops, and Kelly plays it first time. It's a tempting ball for the front man to go after. Just under a little bit too much pressure from Martin Keown.
Switching to Harry Kewell, who gave Leeds United the lead here in thunderous fashion. Clever work from Toure, skill and strength. Bamboozled Jason Wilcox, who was once sent off here at Highbury in his Blackburn Rovers days.
I don't know why Alan Ware has got to give a free kick there. Toure had skipped past Jason Wilcox, who's making good progress down the line. Certainly hasn't helped Arsenal in any way.
Gilberto. Wiltor. Narrow for Arsenal, it seems. Perez. Is he caught by Kelly? No. Viduka by Keown. Mills, who remember was Sven-Göran Eriksson's right back in all the World Cup games a year ago now, or virtually a year ago. Bergkamp. It's too long for Wiltor. Sven is here. And the 3 England internationals to come, all of which you'll see live on Sky Sports. Gary Mills will hope to be involved on the pitch now. As I say, Gary Neville, as you saw maybe in our coverage from Old Trafford yesterday, on crutches. Because of that foot problem that kept him out of the World Cup. Toure to Gilberto. He'll be going to Bergkamp in those circumstances. No space, no time. It's following the pattern so far of the game here last season, which Park gave Leeds the lead. As Wiltor who equalised for Arsenal then. Mark Viduka had a very good winner in the second half. Wrong-footed Tony Adams. Finish the season with the double. Could still happen this season. Kewell. Slightly tentative from Bakker. Perez. Eric Bakker, as I mentioned over the team news, he's got an ankle problem. He's soldiering on for Peter Reid. Certainly not fully mobile.
No, he's not. He's just carrying it a little bit.
Wiltor. Steps back though with the interception. Kelly. Now Kewell. Viduka to try and find it. Fisted in so that David Seaman had to be spot on with his technique and concentration to deal with the Kewell cross. And it's Perez working the Arsenal left. The pace of the opening 40 minutes is just starting to take a bit of toll. It's a very warm day.
Well, Leeds have had to work extremely hard, Mark. That happens when you don't have as much of the ball. You always work harder when you don't have as much possession.
Bergkamp.
Oh, need that call there. Oh, the defender having to deal with that. Easy for the goalkeeper to give him a call, pick it up.
Fielded well against Keown in the air. Unfortunately knocking up for Arsenal though. Keown. A couple of minutes to go to half-time at Highbury. Ori. Out back off Backer's arm to Cole. Henry. Parlour. To pick out Perez, far post from Parlour's point of view. Perez has got past Mills. There wasn't much cover for Danny Mills, though. He's having a look round, and I can't blame him, really.
Yeah, Gary Kelly got a little lost, actually. You watch Gary Kelly, trots over, but really doesn't do anything, Mark. No, just kind of stands and says, well, deal with it.
I think I refer to the point you made earlier about they put a lot of effort in off the ball, and just looked a bit weary there, Gary Kelly.
One or two I've looked at in midfield. I think Matthews looked of the four. Certainly one who's got to pout the pitch more, but at times Gary Kelly's struggled to get back in. So is Jason Wilcox at times. And they've been up forward.
Toure. Here's Gilberto. Parlour's done well again. He's had a fantastic first half. Gilberto wouldn't quite run for it.
First time there was a little chink there, wasn't there? A little gap that they almost got through.
He's took his eye off the ball.
That's a corner, isn't it?
Yeah. A bit further away than the assistant, but he's quite a long way away. The ball's out, says Harry Kewell, and from our vantage point, look that way. You see what Ludgie was having a look to see what was on with the clearance, but the measurements of the pitch wrong. You know, this might clear it up for us.
Well, we're on the halfway line, but I think you can see it. He just got his bearings a little awry.
Two added minutes. Matteo. First rivalry, of course, between Manchester United and Leeds United, but they're all on the same wavelength today. Will talk. Henry. For Perez, not for Bergkamp, but Perez was making a run and trying a very ornate piece of play there.
No, there was danger there. Really was genuine for a few times. Caught Leeds with a few players ahead of the ball. He almost picked a hole.
Free kick and a few seconds left in the first half in which to try and exploit it for Arsenal.
Well, back, I don't believe it. I think he quite fairly won the ball here. It's in that area. Well, he's damaged his ankle in the process again. You talked about that. Oh, he's just knackered.
Physical energy and emotional energy today.
But what a shot there this would be if we could find the top corner. Henry with him here. Goodness me. Last act for the first half.
He's there as well. Robertson on his toes. Perez leaves it. Up steps Henry. Got through again.
Well, he's hit two pretty poor free kicks in all honesty.
Harry Kewell has hit a shot anything but poor. One of the goals of this season gave Leeds United the lead, who illuminated first half that certainly kept us on the edge of our seats. Can Leeds come again? A point would be useful, Andy and I discussing it at half-time in the light of possible other results next weekend if Leeds fellow strugglers also drew. Leeds, of course, have got this better goal difference than both Bolton and West Ham. And I would like to have a better points total by the end of this game than both of those. It's certainly a possibility for them. had some difficult moments in the second part of the first half, but in the opening 20 minutes or so, Viduka in tandem with Kuehl certainly looked threatening, and Arsenal have reshaped at the back today because of their injuries. Andy?
I'm just thinking that incident there, Mark, with Viduka and Luzhny. Luzhny looked to me like he was crawling all over the top of Viduka, trying to get a ball he had no chance of getting to, and the linesman's flag and given a free kick against Mark Viduka.
Flag was raised for offside this time. Keogh. Luzhny making his first start since a New Year's Day when Arsenal won here against Chelsea.
I just think, Mark, the linesmen usually switch. I mean, do they usually run the line of the same defence in both halves?
It's at the referee's discretion, really.
I think that a bit strange.
Paul Canadine now on the far side as we look. And Bannister, who properly disallowed the Wiltor goal. Is it down beneath us? Pires, Bergkamp. He's rather on the fringe of the first 45 minutes.
Well, the area he likes to patrol, Dennis Bergkamp, Martin, has been an area we've kept really tight Leeds for the majority of the first half. He's had to drop into places like this. He's had to leave 8 players in front of him now.
It's Henry, and rolled up the chest, and ball given against the Arsenal leading scorer, who's taken his tally in all competitions for this season to 31.
A little bit of control there. Tell you what, it's a fascinating 43 minutes we've got left, isn't it?
Again,
everything at stake for both these sides in so many different ways. Peter Reid's side, survival, Premiership status, so important for them to still have after the next 6 or 7 days.
It's a push by Cole. But however long you've been around this glorious game, it still amazes you to find out that Paolo Di Canio had come on and got that winner for West Ham. I mean, if he'd written it as fiction, you'd say, oh, that's just silly. It would never happen. Fantastic scenes at Upton Park yesterday. Here we are in a different part of London. Ian Hart, who's scored at Highbury the last 2 times he's played here.
And he's got to fancy it. This is a little bit in, a little bit from the one in the first half. It's a better angle for him. Perfect for the left foot. Can he work the goalkeeper?
He does. Ian Hart at Highbury. It's a lucky ground for him.
Yeah, you look at the goalkeeper immediately here, and you wonder, her body's in the way. It's one of those that's going to cross the England goalkeeper again, and he's late in reacting to it. See, it's not very high, Martin. It bounces once, and how quickly does the England goalkeeper react? A little deflection, was it on the way there? Off an Arsenal head again, surely not. Yes, it is. 2 deflections. Goodness me, Cole Gilberto. Well, maybe that's what fooled the England goalkeeper. Goodness me. When you think of Martin Keown's last week.
You think of Kolo Touré, 2 own goals this season. Aston Villa recently, that was 1-0 to 1-1. It finished that way. Also an own goal from him at Southampton in a match that Arsenal lost.
I mean, it's amazing because I think Cole's touch was taking it wide, and then it just nicked off the Brazilian and dropped it back in. Faintest of touches, but so important for Leeds United.
It's interesting that Peter Reid has sort of reinstated Ian Hart, hasn't he? All sorts of left-backs played. Teddy Lucic, Don Matteo had a couple of games there for Terry Venables. Raul Bravo is on the bench today, the Spaniard who's a current member of Spain's international squad. But it's a stunned Highbury. Is it a Highbury heartbreaker? Well, spots the ball up again. Viduka, scraped away by Kolo Toure.
Well, I think Ian Hart defensively is, and certainly in David O'Leary's reign, at times his defending wasn't brilliant, I've always thought. I mean, he offers so much at the other end. He's got wonderful left foot, fantastic delivery from wide areas, a threat at free kicks. I just think if he tightened up defensively, that he'd be pretty much there as a left back.
Matteo. So there'll be dancing in certain parts of Manchester again. Sure, we've got some shots in that pub to come. Shot here from Wilcox for Leeds United.
Never got it out in front of him, did he? Up at Bolton, he struck an incredibly powerful shot. Got a goal, Jason Wilcox, that night. And he knows, once again, the tie's loose. Can these players come back? Not just with one, but with 2 goals, because that's the requirement.
Pires. Bergkamp. Henry spotted well by Hart. It's not positionally that he struggles defensively. It's just not the fleetest of runners, is it? Cole, who certainly is the Arsenal left back. Pires. Wiltor. Radaby took him down. Sylvain Wiltor on the edge of the D.
It's a daft tackle, Lucas Radaby. Just stay on your feet. You're not going to win that. You're not going to win it. He's saying he didn't make that. I mean, he's gone in at the back of him. It's a certain free kick. He's experienced enough. I'd expect a young kid to do that, but the last thing you want to be inviting is one of these 3 to decide to hit it. Having got the lead again. Well, it's a chance. His first 2 have been poor. Thierry Henry's hasn't got them above the wall and threatened the goalkeeper, really. I would be amazed if this one isn't better. If he, in fact, takes it.
He does. Arsenal still trail.
This is better struck. Never really threatening.
Is getting ever nearer to Manchester United.
Another free kick.
Hart's on his way.
You know, sometimes as a defender you can't get the ball, Mark. You know, sometimes you have to just concede. All right, centre forward's going to get it on his chest. I'm just going to have to bide my time here. You can't always fight your way around, and I just think it's daft at times. I mean, they try and get in there. He's given Hart, just lost a goal. Arsenal from here, and Ashley Cole pulling away at Viduka, trying to get round him. It's a big lad to get round.
Well, what can Hart come up with this time? It's a corner he found in the past.
Well, I went for the other side this time. Goalkeeper's got this covered. He reads this, David Seaman, very quickly. It's a cross. Never really threatening.
I saw at Charlton Mark Viduka battling with Hart over taking penalties. And Viduka seems to be the main man in that respect now. He's not battling him over free kicks, is he? He's quite happy to let Ian Hart deliver. Cure, but originally wasn't caught out there. Parlour. Here's Wiltor. Arsenal got to keep their nerve, keep their sense of belief. Parlour couldn't set it up. Deflection there by Dubry. Could have done anything. In the end, it helped Leeds. But, Robinson had plunged across. He might have been stranded.
Get caught with Martin Keown's. I think it's his left arm as he's just shielding the ball. Taken away from Harry Cure. I think he just caught him. Comes up here. Looks like he's in control there. The hand goes up. There's much to do about nothing really, Mark, that. In honesty. suppose it wouldn't have. Sol Campbell looking on and that, will thinking, might much different from what I'm sitting on this bench accused of doing.
Not much, but a little bit different.
Yeah, not much though, I have to be honest. I thought on the night he was unlucky, Sol. Haven't changed my opinion on that. Well, there's one or two queries from the Arsenal bench about pushing and pulling in here. Don't see much, do you, Martin? I think there's a couple of little deflections.
Don't see enough to take the goal away from Ian Hart either.
No.
But the Premier League have their own dubious goals panel. It might go before that.
Dubious committee as well, is it not? As far as some people are concerned.
I'll let you say
the
that.
goal scorers that have been taking goals off them.
Mr. Shearer would be of that mind, wouldn't he? But here's Perez. For me, Ian Hart has scored at Highbury for Leeds in 3 consecutive seasons. Amazing for a left back. Toure. It was Wiltor. It's Henry.
Great block.
Still Henry. Still Henry. Side netting.
It took a while. It was down Danny Mills, and that might be to do with the first initial block. This finds its way through somehow to Henry, and Mills gets across and makes himself absolutely massive there, blocking the shot. Never really get hold of this one. Henry worked to half a yard for himself, but difficult angle. He's had plenty of attempts at goal, plenty on target. You and I were sitting here watching Everton play and getting back in the game, and like I said, into the second half, well, now it's time for the big players to respond, and Patrick Vieira that day did. He did respond and was there for his team. And it is now a time, and you don't look at defenders so much, Mark, but the man on the ball there has had so much to say in the last week or so about what he might do in the summer. Should Arsenal do this or do that? It's time for Perez, and it's time for Henry, and it's time for Bergkamp and Wiltord. Time for those type of players to stand up, be counted, and claw their way back into this game somehow.
Wiltor. Broken up by Maggio. That's great work by the Leeds captain. Kewell. Past Parler. Oh, past Keown. Absolutely left them for dead.
Corner, is it?
While he's considering it, he's now pointed for it.
Do you know, I don't think he knew the referee. It happened that quickly. But you know Harry Kewell, Martin, you know when you see him move like that, there are few players as comfortable. Some move quicker, admittedly, Henry and that, but there are few as comfortable and as balanced as him when he's in the type of form like that, taking people on.
Leeds will be hoping that their financial situation means doesn't necessitate having to cash in on Kewell's talent. It's speculative from Radaby, who's never scored in the Premiership. Ashley Cole, one of 5 Arsenal players named by the PFA in their team, Premiership team of the season. Perez another.
Well, I thought Dubry would give a free kick away there, Martin. Thought he might just pull away at Perez. He was caught out of position.
Toure. Another freakish moment at the sharp end of this Premiership season.
Yeah, I almost think this game's going to be decided on deflections. Again, it's an awkward height to deal with. I mean, it's never really troubling. It was well over, but and Robinson worried enough.
He swings in the corner. Unmarked Silva and Wiltor.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Should be adding to his 10 Premiership goals here. This is really poor marking. Just backs away, and that ain't a difficult header, Mr. Tyler. It really isn't. You're an international footballer and you score goals.
Yeah, an international footballer who got his 50th cap for France on Wednesday night.
Then you should be doing better than that. Such an important game. They get lots of goals, but they're never convincing at times, some players, when it arrives on their head, are they?
Bergkamp heads to Wiltor. Arsenal plenty of numbers here. Henry gets there first, no surprise in that. Wiltor can't find a teammate. And Gary Kelly, the grateful recipient of Wiltor's touch. This is the danger for Arsenal. This man can take them apart on his own. Harry Kewell. Luzhny wasn't quite sure how he got his tackle in, but he did get his tackle in. And concentrating on the downside for Arsenal, we shouldn't forget the upside for Leeds United. Let's look at that goal difference as well.
And that's a point, isn't it? I mean, scoreline stays the same, Martin, and Leeds are in the Premiership next year.
Mills. And now a goal. Parlour.
Back at table again.
Committed tackle.
Tell you what, Baka and Matthew have done a really good job for Leeds today in that respect. Breaking up play, stopping the flow.
Matthew picked a decent pass. The right ball to the right man. It's Harry Kewell. Viduka's gone roaring into the middle. Wilcox coming in as well. But Kewell, well, he was looking for further individual glory, and now Gilberto tries to drop one over the back for Henry to collect.
Well, no matter who he's faced along the back four, Harry Kewell, when he's had the ball at his feet, Martin, he's skinned every one of them.
Wiltord. Hasn't been the happiest ground for Peter Reid down the years in his managerial career. He's never been a winner as a manager at Highbury, but his team lead Arsenal at the moment. Perez. Robert Perez, and he's livid with himself.
Well, Peter Reid will have to keep an eye on his team's fitness levels. 63% of possession in the first half. It's been quite a lot in the second half as well, although they've done a little better. But he's saying they're keeping them going wide, and I think that's been the key to the lead at the moment, is that they've kept Arsenal going into wide areas. They've shut the door in the centre area, kept it really tight. It's very much the same sort of tactics that Alex Ferguson used when he came. That 2-2 draw defensively, blocked it off there. And Ajax in the Champions League, I saw them do exactly the same and get a positive result for them.
Wiltord. Henry. Perez might be in here. Robert Perez. Bergkamp. Arsenal are celebrating again. 2-2.
Great goal. It's been a long time coming this season, a home goal in the Premiership for the Dutchman. And what a time to do it. Mentioned all four of them, Martin, and three of them have combined here. Big players need to respond when their team needs them. And three of them have. Henry to Perez, and then the composure to just pick out Bergkamp and have him finish it and bring Arsenal very much back into this football match.
Hope rekindled at Highbury. Luzhny.
Well, the lines was flat. I didn't think there was any contact here. I think Ian Hart's won a free kick for pretty much nothing.
Well, here we are at Highbury again with the referee going across to an assistant. Against Manchester United last month, Sol Campbell saw red. Alan Wiley is now dealing with Dennis Bergkamp, who's had a season which has included 2 FA charges.
Linesman took ages to lift his flag, man. I watched the instant because I could see what was happening, and I didn't quite follow the ball there. But I just kept my eye on the incident. It looked like Dennis Bergkamp come over. He made a token gesture, and Ian Hart crumbled in a heap. Whether we'll see it here. Certainly not wide enough to see anything.
That didn't really tell the story. Bergkamp feels that he was harshly done by. The Arsenal fans obviously incensed that they feel Ian Hart made a meal of this.
But I think it's much ado about nothing.
Viduka. Wilcox. Viduka couldn't take the ball with him that time. Parlour certainly does the same here. A little bit of contact by Viduka on the chase back. He's going to be booked.
Was that?
That's what the referee said.
Almost looked a stumble from Ray. I thought he was just going to hang a leg out, but you know, he's gone away there. No, it's a stumble. Ends up getting booked for it.
Luzhny. Dubry's header of some authority, but Leeds, having lost their lead, are going to need all their self-belief. Arsenal have shown strength of character to hit back, not once but twice, but they still haven't got themselves into a winning position here on a day when nothing less than a win is good enough. Bergkamp. Henry. 1, 2, 3, 4 streaming forward for Arsenal.
Here it comes inside onto the right.
Time back onto the left. A little poke to Pires. On to Gilberto. It's there to be hit.
Well, they've got stretched there, Leeds. They've picked a little hole there again. They've picked an opening. It's not an easy one to take on. Ian Hart's got the block on, if he hits it across goal. Goalkeeper's near post. But the goal breathed new life into Arsenal.
Player cam for Sky Digital viewers, Lucas Radebe.
Just prior to the goal, Mark, I looked over and I know Kanu was warming up, but he was ready to come on. At 2-1, the goal has just meant that it's put the training top at least back on for the moment.
Pires. Luzhny, Parlour. Quarter of the game to go. Pires. Henry, not tightly marked. Tighter now. Bergkamp can't squeeze it through. Out to Parlour, not at a convenient height. Polo Toure. Nick from Henry. Parlour lets it run. Bergkamp trying to line it up.
Oh, that must have been close. So deliberate. Just opened his body. You can see what he's trying to do. Oh, and is it the pressure mounted? Just watch him open his body on his right side. He's used Radebe as a shield. Goalkeeper's across to it. Paul Robinson would argue, if that's on target, I save it. I think he's probably right. The pressure's mounting. Nerves are jangling.
Trano getting ready again. Arsene Wenger, a little bit of criticism for going defensive at Bolton when he brought Luzhny on, and I think even some members of his backroom staff would have hoped for Bergkamp to be sending a different sort of message to Bolton Wanderers last weekend. Leeds looking to get in front for a third time today. Hart. Beyond Dubry, beyond Bakker, of course, is very good in the air.
Not the worst ball I've seen play then.
Kanu is ready. Got 2 goals at Elland Road. And his last 2 goals were against Sunderland in Peter Reid's final match as Sunderland's manager. Is he going to be here to thwart Peter Reid again?
Not sure what's going to happen here, Mark. Whether they're just going to leave it as it is and just play no one down the right-hand side.
Bergkamp.
I wondered whether they might put Gilberto back into the middle and move Luzhny to right back. We haven't at the moment. So if Ashley Cole's going to continue to bomb forward, then they're taking a chance. They're going to get caught 2v2 at times, maybe, with Kyo and Viduka.
Pires. It's needs must for Arsene Wenger.
Absolutely, they need the goal.
Wiltor. Papala's feet, it runs kindly for Kanu. And maybe here for Wiltor, Parra and Wiltor, just confusing each other for a moment. And look at the desperation in Wiltor's movement then. He almost staggered down with the weight of the responsibility. 20 minutes though still left for Arsenal. They can still be measured, they can still probe patiently, even if the fans have no patience left. Just the win. Without it, they're done for as far as the Premiership is concerned. There's with the corner. It comes back his way again.
Oh, what a chance from Martin Keown.
Must have been going for goal.
Oh, of course he was.
But look where the ball ended up.
Just an awful header.
Cole. Wiltor. Bergkamp from the right. Kanu. That's a cool ball from Ian Hart. I knew where Viduka was. It asked a little bit of the Australian to keep it in, but he was up to that. Matteo has sneaked into some space. Kewell. Peter Reid's telling his team if they can just to get it forward, because with Arsenal over committing as they have to do.
Yeah, Ray Parlour's kind of half taking responsibility in this right-hand side, Martin. He doesn't want to jog in behind Martin Keown and play right back. He must be going the other way, but he knows that someone has to. He's left Wilcox and he's made a really good run. And Wilcox should be here helping Hart, and he's not.
And there again.
Matteo is.
Hurt himself in the all that extra charge that was required to get there. Parlour. It's made it awkward for the goalkeeper, the flight of the ball, but in the end it passed beyond Henry. Well, Martin Keown climbed unattended a moment or two ago.
Well, it's on a poor, that's his poor marking again, and you know, for Martin Keown, Martin, that isn't a difficult header. 6 yards, would you say?
No, I just thinking from that whether he saw somebody he was trying to put it in the net, but why?
No way. Your only thought there is find the target, work the goalkeeper.
Well, he finds Wiltor here. He's caught by Ian Hart well upfield. Backers there as well, and Wilcox nearly for Viduka. You wouldn't be totally shocked if Leeds scored again.
Well, let's just say they ain't camped outside their own box looking for a 2-2, Martin. Look at the way this game is stretched here now, and it might just suit Arsenal. They do like teams to come on to them and then break from there.
Kewell holds off Cole, continuing his domination of the Arsenal defenders. It's Harry Kewell again. Great save by Seaman.
What a save, big man. What makes it difficult is his low, it's to his feet, near his feet, but this is a problem these two have caused today. Yeah, good reactions. The closeness to the left ankle, that's what made it difficult. Top marks for getting down as quickly with a strong left arm that he did.
Leeds have a corner. 15 minutes left. Bergkamp.
Oh dear, problems.
Wiltor, Bergkamp, Henry coming from the left. He's just made him check slightly. Henry! Oh. That's the margins we're dealing with here.
Don't believe it. Oh, you could sense trouble. As soon as it broke. players forward, and well, there's his favourite position. Left side, tuck in on the right and bend it past the goalkeeper. 99% perfect, but it's the 1% that just might mean the difference between retaining the title and not. That's the way we're judging this game today.
Sylvain Wiltord is coming off, and Jermaine Pennant is being sent into the fray. The 20-year-old of undoubted talent. It's only his third appearance in the Premiership, and the last one, I think, was at Leeds United. He blotted his copybook recently, breaking a curfew with the under-21s. He was rather sent back here with his tail between his legs, but there's no doubt about his ability, and Arsenal look to Pennant now. Pires. Here's the Arsene Wenger way often, isn't it, to get as many attackers on as you can, and
no great tactics
overpower the opposition.
No great tactics involved about changing the shape or doing anything like that. It's just get players on who can get the ball and could cause a problem.
Henry, past Matteo, came off Lucas Radebe, dangerously near for Leeds, the deflection, but it's only a corner for Arsenal. They need more than that.
Well, they just begin to find a little bit of space, Mark, as well. I just wonder how the gas energies and the levels are for Leeds players. Have had to work incredibly hard in this game without the ball for long periods. And Arsenal are just beginning to find a bit of space.
Made away by Kuehl guarding the near post. Cole.
Well, he's a World Cup winner, Gilberto, but I have to say, Martin, ain't the most committed in 50-50 tackles I've ever seen. 2 or 3 today. That one there, another one with Lucas Radebe. He didn't look interested in it.
Well, he looks like a man who's been to Mexico and back this week in his defence. Here he is. Prepared to get himself on the ball. He's fouled by Kuehl. And Cole crosses. Oh, it's misjudged by Hart. Pennant, who had a very good spell on loan at Watford earlier this season. And indeed last season as well. Pires, Bergkamp. Henry, Mills off, and Danny Mills not to be shrugged off. It's a free kick to Leeds.
I'll tell you what, Martin, you know, they were completely bare on that side of him. If Henry was aware of Ashley Cole's position, goodness me, all he had to do was roll the ball off the outside of his foot. As this ball's played into him, look at Cole. Look at the space he's got. Desperate to get the ball. Just didn't come his way. Well, he's going to make changes, Peter Reid. Certainly one.
Kuehl couldn't keep it this time. Pires takes on Mills. He's got good speed of recovery. Well, Simon Johnson is a 20-year-old. He comes from the Midlands, born in West Bromwich. He's a substitute in the Premiership for only the 3rd time. He, like Pennant, has been learning other aspects of his trade outside of the top league. He's had a loan spell at Hull City. And Gio van Bronckhorst gets the call.
Yeah, Robert Pires has just pulled up, Martin. You see that on the far side. He's getting some treatment from Gary Lewin, Arsenal physio.
And there's no time to waste.
No time to waste, no. I mean, we've got 10 minutes now between Arsenal relinquishing their hold on the Premiership title or not.
Here's Johnson, not to be confused with Seth Johnson, who is still a Leeds player, although one who's been blighted by injuries.
What is on the back of his shirt? Is it S. Johnson just?
I think it was just S. Johnson, wasn't it?
Confusing. Is Johnson's belt different?
No. Different number. Always used to be good enough, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Bidicker's free!
Oh, he knows, doesn't he? He knows. One player who's good with his head. Martin Keown just loses him. Good movement from Viduka. Even if he chests it down, Martin. Johnson's there, totally spare. He'd got in as well. A little let off for Arsenal.
Back goes Radaby. You can reach out and touch the tension here at Highbury. 10 minutes left. The defending champions running out of time. Kanu. Parla. Gilberto. Into Henry. Kanu takes it. Holds it. Gilberto.
Left side again. If only Arsenal do brilliantly, Mark, when they feed it in there. But the one thing they haven't seen is Ashley Cole, because Gary Kelly's come in field. Danny Mills has been dragged in on Henry. And Ashley Cole's been free.
He's still there. Henry looks the goal, and while we were making that point, Andy, Ashley Cole was complaining that Arsenal hadn't picked him out.
Yeah, was he? I'm not surprised. He's made 3-4 decent runs. Acres of space. He's good on the ball. Doesn't get it.
And we're talking about Premiership this season here, but of course Premiership next season very much involved with the playoffs. Nottingham Forest against Sheffield United. You can see Saturday midday Sky Sports 1, followed by Wolves against Reading at 5:30 in 6 days' time. What's going to happen here in not much over 6 minutes' time? You might be feeling a bit anxious in Manchester, but I'd rather be in their position than the Arsenal fans.
The Arsenal fans feel we're close to them here. They're right behind you and I, and every now and again I have a little look round, Martin. The faces.
Well, it's not just coming behind Manchester United, as the fact is that the feeling around the ground, and we talked about it right at the beginning of the programme today, the general feeling of gloom here, that Arsenal have blown it. And I think that's very unfair on Manchester United to spell it out like that, because they've been magnificent over the last few weeks, last few months. And their performance here was worthy of potential champions.
Listen, there's nothing wrong that a goal for Arsenal wouldn't put right.
No, that's true.
In the next 6.5 minutes.
Pennant has been bursting for a chance in the Premiership. Down goes Kanu. Leeds fans feel that he fell on the ball and handled it, but Alan Wiley's called the first offence.
So again, I don't know why Lucas Radaby's trying to win that ball, Mark. Kanu ain't going anywhere. The only thing Radaby's going to do is give away a free kick, encourage Keown and everyone else to load themselves in, and Van Bronckhorst's going to deliver. And Leeds are under pressure.
In from Van Bronckhorst. Steered away by Mills, but Leeds have pulled everyone back. Cole. Luzhny on for Bergkamp, who got the equaliser to make it 2-2, which is where we are now. It's Luzhny. It's an Arsenal corner.
How does that get across a 6-yard box with no one going in on it?
Where's the fox in the box? Franny Jeffers on the injured list.
Oh, look at him, not on me. The manager is out there, Mark. Gee, he knows. I don't think he can believe it. That ball was rolled across the box, and Arsenal players have stood admiring.
By Matteo. Prayers are called for. Will they be answered? Bergkamp. Leeds just now haven't been often camped on the edge of their own area. There is a free kick here that will help them get the ball forward.
Bergkamp wasn't happy. Simon Johnson, no respecter of reputation, just rattled into him on the halfway line. Won't be in any hurry to take this free kick, Leeds.
The 10 minutes has become 5. That That seems to have happened in a flash. I'm sure it has to the Arsenal fans. Viduka. Wilcox is there. Keown heads it away. One or two Leeds players out there in the sharp end of things who believe that they can win this and put their fears to bed. Might not be shared throughout the team. Backer is back.
Well, what
Mills.
people will be looking at this Leeds side, they'll be looking at this team that are playing here and be thinking, how on earth would this team who have played like this today and the trouble that they're in?
Well, it's not all about football with Leeds United, is it?
Well, on the pitch it should be, Mark. On the pitch.
Situation. Even with the selling of the players?
Yeah, even then. Look at the quality we've watched today. There's still not everybody fit and ready. I didn't even mention Alan Smith.
Hart. Parler. On goes Pennant. Cross comes Radaby. Youth against experience here.
Oh dear, countdown.
Kanu. Gilberto. Ashley Cole. Henry. And then Cole is in this time. Hart scrapes it away. Cole again. Mills was strong. Needs a moment or two earlier.
That was a great ball.
Took a deep breath.
Well, that was football befitting the champions, and the only thing they haven't done is finish it off. Watch Bergkamp. Is he eased out, or is it just good defending? Yeah. Nobody going in, but again, how Arsene Wenger will look at those two balls that have gone across the 6-yard box again and pray, why are my players not going in? Why is one not going middle of the goal and tapping us into the lead? He must be thinking that.
Does he need to buy that type of player?
Has he got them in Franny Jeffers, but just not today?
What he hasn't got is the money to buy that type of player. Of course, Arsenal are being mentioned now alongside Leeds in the financial columns because of the difficulties with the new ground. Well, that's a story for another day. The story here is what happens at the old ground in the 2.5 minutes plus added time that remains. Pennant has gone down a blind alley. Matteo. All sensible and solid for Leeds United. Viduka. Simon Johnson is there as well. Viduka! Leeds United lead again. They've got the late goal and surely have buried Arsenal as far as the Premiership is concerned and secured their own salvation.
That's it, mate. The Manchester fans have gone mad. I think it's all over. 2 goals needed in 2 minutes for Arsene Wenger's side. But hey, give Dominic Matteo. It's a fantastic finish, but Matteo was brilliant.
And Viduka continues his phenomenal run. What a giant he's been for Peter Reid.
What a finish.
To the attack, from Arsenal's point of view, not to the game. Backer, Kanu. Here's Parler. Pennant. Leaves it to Matteo, who was so prominent, as you say, Andy, in the setting up of Leeds' 3rd goal. There are tears here. And he's young enough to see Arsenal come again.
Yeah, there's some Arsenal questions being asked, but offside never entered my head. I think he's bent his run. Might have been. There's Martin Keown just there, but he certainly bent his run, and well, from here it's just about quality, absolute quality. What a result!
So close. And Arsene Wenger, well, 2 goals in, what are we talking about, 30 seconds, and whatever Alan Wiley chooses to add on. Finished last season, I think, with a 4-3 home win here in very different circumstances. They'd already won the Premiership then. And he'll be thinking tonight, what were the key moments that allowed it to get away from us? We talked earlier about the drawn games.
Yeah, there's 5 minutes of added time, Mr. Tyler.
Still time, though. You won't find too many takers in the optimism stakes around Highbury at the moment. There's a huge difference for Leeds between winning this game and drawing it.
Oh, massive.
Wilcox.
It's the difference between relaxing and being able to enjoy next week, if that's possible, and going into it under massive pressure to beat Aston Villa. It's been a giant performance from his side, you have to say. Whatever happens, Martin, it's been top class, I have to say. Leeds United have given absolutely everything. The manager set them up great tactically. He's got them spot on. The front two were always a problem. Throughout the match, they've always been a problem.
Well, there were weaknesses on paper in the Arsenal team defensively because of the injuries, and Leeds have exploited those weaknesses out on the pitch. Viduka. All Keown can do is put it out. Such a contrast in emotions here. Leeds fans hardly able to believe what they're seeing. Mattia. Wilcox. It's an offside here against Mark Viduka. Arsenal feel that he was in the build-up to Leeds' third goal. Hart. Wilcox.
Well, we can maybe have a look at that, Martin, and just check. I mean, they were absolutely, Arsenal, convinced that Mark Viduka's offside. Let's have a look at this. There's the ball. He is offside. I'll tell you what, how offside he is. He's as offside as Thierry Henry was against Manchester United. He's that much.
Well, it's similar again to that, for the player coming back and being a bit of a distraction by that, but certainly not getting back far enough. It's just the case with Henry. And that's one of those pivotal moments, really, isn't it, when we look back at Arsenal's season. That 2-1 then, although the goal was unjust in that respect, suddenly became 2-2. Parlour, halfway through the 5 minutes of added time. Cole. Pennant coming round the back, it doesn't reach him. Wilcox. He's got 19 Premiership goals now, Mark Viduka.
Most of them since Peter Reid arrived.
He's at 13 in the last 9. That's not all under Peter Reid. No. Going back to Lee Chapman to find the 20-goal Leeds league man. Ray Hankin before him, both the men of similar physical stature to Viduka. But when he turns it on, he's as good as anyone around. There are days when he does look disinterested and off the pace.
Well, it looks like the gloom around Highbury when we arrived, Martin. The people who doubted. It looks like they know their team better than I do, and they do, because they've all around the ground there were people saying, no, they've thrown it away, they ain't going to win it now. That's it. Resigned to it. I thought not. I thought there was still something there. Still enough quality in this Arsenal side. What I didn't bank on was a fine performance of Peter Reid's side today.
Caution there for Keown, showing his frustration. Resignation written all over the face of Arsene Wenger. The season is up. And Ray Parlour wasting more of the little time that Arsenal have left. And Bergkamp's getting involved when he doesn't need to be. It's frustration. Well, they're proud people.
Yeah.
And they were probably thinking for much of the season that they would have another Premiership memento. It's over. Manchester United are the champions. Leeds United are safe from relegation, and Arsenal can only reflect on a missed opportunity to make history. in Manchester, joy unconfined. And for Leeds here as well, it's a terrific victory for Peter Reid and his players. In front 3 times, and they held on the 3rd time to Mark Viduka's goal, which was definitely questionable. But today Leeds have had a bit of luck at the right time, and their performance deserved it. And how strange, there has been another United here. The men from Manchester have won it at Highbury in the mathematical sense, and also with a draw here last month that took so much of the wind out of the sails of the defending champions, has plenty of payback for Arsenal's triumph on the Old Trafford pitch last May. Where did it go wrong, they're thinking. Arsenal runners-up for the 4th time in 5 years. There's a real sense of anticlimax here, unless you're a lover of Leeds United. Well done, Peter Reid and his players. There's no love lost between Leeds and Manchester United. The Yorkshire club have served their own ends today. Souvenirs provided by Paul Robinson. And someone fixed it for them. I would suggest several players out there. And a manager who doesn't know whether he's going to be in charge of Leeds next season. But your old mate Andy, he's given himself a good chance of impressing those who'll make that decision.
Hasn't done any harm. Peter Reid today, he posed the question, where did it go wrong for Arsenal? A couple of things that went wrong for them. They themselves couldn't see it through. Lost games they shouldn't have done. Conceded points they shouldn't have done, Martin. But couldn't have possibly thought that Manchester United were going to put the run in that they did since Boxing Day.
Sir Alex Ferguson said it would be his greatest achievement. Well, that achievement is now in the record books. Congratulations to Manchester United. Commiserations to Arsenal.
Barclaycard Premiership for the 8th time in 11 seasons. Manchester United are champions. Arsenal will finish runners-up. Newcastle have qualified to play in the Champions League. It sets up a fantastic last day for us. We'll have 3 live games on the last day. We'll watch Chelsea play Liverpool for 1 at Stamford Bridge. Everton, Blackburn, they're jockeying for European place. City, Tottenham, Middlesbrough make up the top half. At the bottom end, confirmation, because their goal difference is such that Leeds United are safe. So we'll be going to St Andrews to see Birmingham play West Ham, and we'll be at the Reebok watching Bolton play Middlesbrough. 3 live matches on the last day. Leeds are safe. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, Chester meet Doncaster. That's the 2nd leg of the playoff to reach the final, to get out of the conference. Live tomorrow, 3 o'clock, Sky Sports 1. Saturday at midday, Nottingham Forest play Sheffield United.
On loan from Crystal Palace. Reading makes 6 changes from the team which defeated Watford 3-0. In come John Mackey, Luke Chadwick, Glenn Little, John Solarco, James Harper, and up front the lone striker, Nicky Forster. Commentators Ray Houghton and Rob Hawthorne.
And the man of the match sponsors. Stoke have been back in Division 1 for just 51 weeks. It was the 11th of May 2002 when they beat Steve Coppell's Brentford 2-0 in the playoff final. Plenty of that team still around. Wayne Thomas, Peter Handyside, Sergei Shatanyuk, James O'Connor all start today. But it's Reading in blue who get this vital match underway. Interesting, isn't it, how Stoke's future in this division depends upon the 2 teams with whom they were promoted. Reading, whom they play, and Brighton, who play 130 miles away at Grimsby. Greenacre going for the header, along with Mackey. And here's Nicky Forster. Sliding challenges from Shatanyuk. Gunnarsson and Hoekstra combine. Sidwell snapping in with a challenge. And make no mistake about it, Reading are fully committed.
Both teams are committed in this game, isn't it, for different reasons. Obviously, Stoke need a point to show their position in the First Division. Reading, where do they want to finish, 3rd or 4th? Who do they want to play in the playoff semi-finals?
They're guaranteed a home 2nd leg in the playoff semi-finals, Reading, but they'd like to finish third. It would be a notable achievement for them if they could manage it. And they're going remarkably for their 13th away win of the season, which is a fantastic record, the best in the division. One or two signs of nerves when Thomas ran that ball out. That will be inevitable among the Stoke ranks today. This is Shatanyuk. Lewis Neal wins his duel with Chadwick. And now Marcus Hall, a player with Premiership experience. Clearances by Graham Murty. Now Chadwick. Both managers under pressure today. Steve Coppell and Tony Pulis are claiming that they're not interested in events elsewhere. You can be sure that they will be kept closely in touch. It's Mackie. Flick on was by Little, and that's Wayne Thomas.
Even this early in the game, Rob, we can see, you know, the wind's going to be a major factor. You know, it's blowing everywhere. It really is affecting the ball, and we're not going to. The best way to play in conditions is get it down too much at the moment. The ball's just hanging up in the air.
The scenario is straightforward for Stoke. The only outcomes that will see them go down are if they lose here and Brighton win. So it's avoid defeat at all costs for Tony Pulis' team today. How much of the pressure would it relieve if they were to get an early goal? The crowd are with them. It is difficult playing at home sometimes, and when nervousness creeps in, that can transmit itself from the crowd to the players. Header is by Chadwick, now O'Connor, and this is Hall. Akinbaye misses out. It's Mackie. Murty comes under pressure from Neal.
Good pressure by Neil, wasn't it? You know, he knew Graham Murty was under pressure there to clear the ball and closed it down very well indeed. Just unfortunately went all the way back to Marcus Hanman in the goal.
Bearing in mind the starts they made to the season, Stoke and Brighton, you feel, have no right to be in a position really where they go into the last day bidding for survival. This is Forster. Good challenge by Shtanyuk, who's been away on international duty this week with Belarus. But the Reading player has been left grounded, but they're continuing to build up here. Greenacre having a stab.
This is goodness. Chris Greenacre, you're absolutely right. Straight from distance there. Always looks strong there. Hanneman didn't get his body behind the shot there. Easy save in the end, but I'm sure Alan Pardew will be concerned because Nicky Forster's form this season has been first class coming into these big games.
Well, that was a risk against Akinbaye taken by Marcus Hanneman, and he got away with it. It's Peter Handyside. If Stoke lose today, will be relying on a favour from his former colleagues at Grimsby. It's Nicky Forster looking to sweep one in. Crossley always behind it. Would be good enough to keep Stoke in the First Division. That's Greenacre, good header now. Hoekstra, who is left-footed, coming in from this side, making the room for Lewis Neal, and straight at the goalkeeper.
I should have played it earlier. Hoekstra took too long here. It's a lovely flick from Chris Greenacre to find Hoekstra down this right-hand side. Comes inside, he just has got his head up. You can see Neal at the far post, all his own, gives him it too late. Gets the ball cut under his foot there as he hits the shot, goes straight at Hanneman in the goal, but Hoekstra was the one there. Got to do it quicker.
It's Handyside. Ivash couldn't get there. This is Akinbaye, Neal. Now Chris Greenacre with an opportunity. Snatches at it.
That was a poor shot in the end from Chris Greenacre, but good build-up play from Stoke. Good movement off the ball from Greenacre. Was found with a pass from Neal. Just snatches, as you see, Rob, at it there where he's on his weaker left side and never troubling Hanneman in the goal.
Murty. This is Hall. Can buy his flick. Back by Vivash, might fall short.
So that all just comes about from a fight ball, I call that. You know, it's just a ball from Marcus, all pumped up field. I mean, Akinbay's on his own there, no one in and around him, and Vivash really just heads it back to Hanneman. It always looked like it was going to be the keeper's ball.
Here's James O'Connor. Now Lewis Neal. He's got the corner.
Good challenge from Stevie Sidwell. Stuck his task well on Neil on the left-hand side there. He looks a competent player. Just try to show him a little dummy there and get his left foot crossing, but Sidwell got the block in, put it behind for the corner.
It's Hoekstra with a kick as we advance rapidly to half-time. Shatanyuk made a determined bid to get there as it flew in. This is Neil.
Never on target, was it? Just sort of rushed his strike there. Takes it on his left foot. Look at the number of Reading players come to close him down. Chadwick was first on the scene, put him off, and Neil just put his left foot and shot wide of the goal. Never troubling Hanneman whatsoever.
Vivash. Away by Murty. This is Gunnarsson. And Vivash again. Salako. This is Shorey. Murty. Shatanyuk been trusting that one to his goalkeeper.
Even that, Rob, you know, I think this has been a problem. I think we must really tell that, you know, the people back home, they might not see it in the pictures, but the wind really is blowing. I think it really is affecting it as a game. You know, the boys just can't get the ball forward or get it down quickly enough.
But at half-time, Stoke are halfway towards survival. Tony Pulis's team have managed to keep Reading at bay. Clear-cut chances, few and far between, but they don't mind about that. It's Stoke 0, Reading 0.
The Football League on Sky Sports, sponsored by Sky Bet.
Tension all around this stadium as Stoke battle to preserve their First Division status. Now can Reading do Brighton a favour and give them a lift? Alan Pardew help out his old chum from Crystal Palace days, Steve Coppell. He forged a very successful partnership as manager and player, getting promoted and leading them to the cup final. Pardew scored the winning goal in the semi-final. That's how the situation stands at the moment, just 3 points between them, but if Brighton were to get another and Stoke were to go a goal down, then Stoke would be in the bottom three by virtue of goal difference. Here's Lewis Neal. Now Gunnarsson. This is Thomas. There is a real edge and nervousness about Stoke. No one player wants to make the mistake that's going to be so costly. Whether it's a miss in front of goal or whether it's a costly defensive error that allows Reading in to make one. This is Marcus Hall. Just retaking their positions at Blundell Park, so again they're kicking off about 90 seconds behind this one in the other relegation decider. Just underway now. Pulled back by Neal. And here's Chadwick. Stepped aside from O'Connor easily enough. It's away by Handyside. The wind, which we mentioned in the first half, still continues to give the pitch and the players a bit of a buffeting.
Well, it's swirling, isn't it? You know, 1 minute's going left to right, and then right to left. You know, you just don't know as a player when you're hitting a pass if it's going to go long or short at the moment.
That's O'Connor. And now Lewis Neal. James Harper. Reading seem to be growing in stature in this game at the moment. And these are worrying signs for worried Stokes fans. Here's Neil. O'Connor. Hoekstra. Fended off by Sidwell. Gunnarsson retrieves, just gets caught.
Gunnarsson and O'Connor, they've been immense in the middle of the park because at times they're playing 3 against 2 and they're outnumbered, but they've stuck to their task well.
Now here's Neil. Akinbaye wants it and gets it and scores! Adi Akinbaye rules Britannia and brings a wave of relief around this ground. It's the goal they've been waiting for. It puts them back in the driving seat, and it may well keep them in the First Division.
The founder hero, Rob, we were waiting for one to come on board, and here he is, Adi Akinbaye's first real effort at goal, and he's put it into the back of the net. But this is all about the play of Lewis Neal down this left-hand side. This is a fabulous cross. Akinbaye gets in front of John Mackey. That's an incredible header. And it flies past Marcus Hanneman in the goal. He has absolutely no chance. And out of nothing and saying that Reading started this second half by far the better team, but it's Stoke that gets the all-important goal.
It's Murty. Handy side. That's O'Connor. Looking for Cook, who is challenging with Mackey unfairly in the referee's view.
I think he led with his elbow there, didn't he, Andy Cook? There was no malice in it. He didn't go and try and catch John Mackey in the face, but just led with it. The referee seen it straight away. Interesting, Darius Henderson's come on for John Salako, and I thought he went up front alongside Nicky Foster, but he's been playing wide left as well, so Alan Pardew keep the same formation.
Well, Crossley's clearance hasn't done him any favours, and sure he might make the most of it. And that was close.
The goalkeeper's not watched other keepers the day before. If you look yesterday, Roy Carroll, the mistake that he made, now he should just be kicking this into Rose Ed. He's taking too long to do it, tries to flick it off Nicky Foster. In the end, Nicky Shorey with the strike there. It came off Nicky Shorey initially. And then Darius Henderson just fed the ball to Shorey. There's his strike, and the keeper doesn't move. I mean, that is inches away from hitting the back of the neck.
Watson. Here's Curitan, who continues to be a danger. And Nicky Forster looking to get away. And well defended by Handyside. Back in though by Little. Crossley a little bit caught in no man's land, but it's cleared to Steve Sidwell. Wonderful effort off the bar.
Well, how unfortunate is this from Stephen Sidwell? There was a good passage of play from Reading, keeping Stoke under pressure, can't really clear to any great distance. Comes to Sidwell on the volley, inches away from getting Reading back into this game.
Look at that.
Fantastic, isn't it? That's what it means to the fans, doesn't it? It's quite incredible. This is the clash earlier on. Darius Henderson and I think it's Chris Greenacre. Greenacre gets the flick, Henderson just comes in from behind and catches him.
Stoke City are less than 3 minutes away from ensuring their place in the First Division. Adi Akinbaye may well be the man who has guaranteed that they stay in this league. If the stoppage time at Grimsby isn't too much, their fate may well be settled before the final whistle here, because Brighton are being held. And that score is being announced in the stadium. That's mind games for you.
It's very unusual, Rob, isn't it?
Well, it is not full time at Blundell Park, although they are approaching injury time now. Here's Little. Clipped in towards Darius Henderson. Doesn't break for him, but it will here for Jamie Curitan. And Forster leaves it. And Hall comes in to clear. There are 3 minutes added time at Blundell Park as well. But as it stands, what goes on there is irrelevant. There are appeals here for supporters to stay off the pitch at the end because they are fearful that the one thing that could deprive them of their First Division safety is a points deduction if there was to be such an invasion. Here's Murty. Away by Gunnarsson. Will the fans here be able to control themselves at the end?
I'm not too sure, but I tell you what, Gunnarsson should have put that into touch, not give it straight back to the goalkeeper. Hanneman is just going to pump the ball long back into your own half of the pitch.
Gunnarsson. Little. O'Connor. And the referee just... Stoke City survive! The final whistle blown on a dramatic season in which on the last day Adi Akinbaye has ensured that they stay in the First Division. The man that Tony Pulis turned to, having known him from his Gillingham days, has been embraced by his manager, and fans here embrace each other at a remarkable last day escape. The record books will show that it was more comfortable than it seemed on the day. Tony Pulis makes a quick exit from the scene, but in the end he's a hero. When he took over in November, the club looked like being cut adrift. But some remarkable form in the run-in, capped by this last day victory, has ensured that they will again perform at this level next season. It's finished here at the Britannia Stadium. Stoke 1, Reading 0.
Tony, congratulations, you've completed the great escape.
Yeah, we're very, very pleased. Delighted for the football club. Everybody connected with the place. Very, very pleased.
And Adi Akinbaye, he's had his problems, hasn't he, in recent times, but you had faith in him.
No, he's a terrific lad. He's taken a lot of criticism at Leicester. I think that's the first club he's been at where he hasn't really hit it off. But, you know, he's not fit, really. He's playing at 50%, but you've seen today, you know, he's a goal scorer and he'll score goals. He's frustrating at times, but he's a terrific kid. Got a lot of respect for him, and I'm very, very pleased that he's got the goal that's kept this up.
Be honest, Tony, going up to Christmas, that awful run, you're in the bottom three. Did you think maybe this task is beyond me?
Well, fortunately, I can say it now. I've never been relegated in 30-odd years as a player, a coach or a manager. I've never, ever been relegated, and it's nice to keep that sequence going.
You go and party now.
Thanks very much.
So Stoke ensure their own safety by beating a top six team for the first time this season. But Brighton made it close. At one stage at Blundell Park, they were just one goal away from safety themselves. All the action coming up. Grimsby against Brighton at Blundell Park. First of all, the team news, and Grimsby made 5 changes from the team which lost 2-1 at Reading. Player-manager Paul Groves recalls himself and Steve Chettle, Richard Hughes, Darren Mansaram and Chris Thompson. It's just about Grimsby's strongest available team. Brighton are unchanged from the team which beat Watford 4-0. Steve Coppell pursues his favoured 3-5-2 formation. Up front, Paul Kitson and Bobby Zamora possibly playing his last game for Brighton. Commentators Alvin Martin and Ian Crocker.
Well, most people you talk to about today's relegation deciders seem to think that Brighton will win, but that Stoke will at least get a point. Of course, the players of Grimsby and Reading might have different ideas to most people. Who really knows what the next 90 minutes will hold? Brighton in their change kit will get us off and running. It's a 500-mile round trip for their supporters. It's a trip they're hoping they don't have to make next season in Division 2. Of course, by the way, Brighton started this season, you'd have thought they'd have been long gone by now, but here they are, hanging on. There's Kerry Mayo, who has played in a more important game than this. He was in the side that just about preserved their entire Football League status 6 years ago. at Hereford. Scored an OG in that game, in fact. Brighton have risen rapidly into the first division. They've had ideas above their station. What a story it would be if this sunny Sunday in Cleethorpes turns out to be a day they will cherish forever. Grimsby, by the way, sporting their new shirts today. Michael Keane's cross, Thompson in there, and a free kick for Brighton. There was a hint of a handball initially anyway from the youngster.
Well, they've got to come here and score goals, but certainly this man and people alongside him are going to be important. And the man who's taking this kick, clean sheet. Clean sheet is so important, vital for them today, so that they don't put too much pressure on themselves.
Gary Hart beats Gallimore to it. Kitson and Zamora waiting in the middle, and here is Kitson. The presence of Santos enough for Grimsby, and Chettle on hand too. Now Richard Hughes. Michael Keane will be returning to Preston. He's been on loan, as has Hughes. Now McDermott. Keane. McDermott has continued his run and turned into an unlikely left winger. Gallimore. Hughes. Gallimore's cross. And McDermott sent it through. And Darren Mansorum. Oh, they quickly closed in on him, and it was Nathan Jones who did most of the important work for Brighton then. Groves. Mansurum's been bundled over by Danny Cullett.
Been lively. Yeah, he has been lively early on, hasn't he, Mansurum? Touch of Amniobi about him. He's big and strong and willing, and his touch of feet looks to be particularly good. And Danny Cullett really should have let him have the ball there.
Tony Gallimore might fancy this with his left foot. Here it comes, Gallimore, and Besant got his frame on it! And from the follow-up, it's been blazed over by Campbell. Well, a bit of a let-off for Brighton. Besant to the rescue.
Well, it's certainly a good strike. Got a real deflection there, and that's good goalkeeping. Didn't panic. Good challenge there as well to stop the ball actually hitting the target on the second chance. But it's good goalkeeping, because a lot of keepers might have panicked on that, not got anything on it. Used his experience and his big frame well there, Dave Besant.
Kitson was clobbered then by Santos. It'll be Paul Watson to swing this in.